to the TokyoBill Weekly Update, my personal roundup of Japan-related news of interest to me, TokyoBill. Today is February 28th, 2026. We start off with two stories of tragic fires over the weekend, both resulting in fatalities. In Yamanashi Prefecture on Friday, 5 people died in an early morning fire at a temple. The fire, which involved a 2-story wooden structure, destroyed 3 buildings and took roughly 3 hours to control. The local police and fire departments are investigating the cause, and amidst a dry weather advisory in the region, are warning residents to take fire precautions. On Sunday, in Chiba Prefecture, a house fire left 3 residents missing, including 2 young girls and their grandmother. The fire also occurred early in the morning, and while 2 individuals were rescued and hospitalized, the search for the missing continues as local authorities assess the situation. Mie Prefecture plans to introduce a draft ordinance that will impose fines of up to 500,000 yen, over $3,000, on abusive customers, targeting harassment of shop and restaurant employees. Effective from April next year, this ordinance addresses repeat abusive behaviors such as shouting at staff. The rise in kasuhara, or customer harassment, has led to employee resignations and health issues, fueled by Japan's culture of excessive hospitality. A panel of experts will handle complaints, and offenders may face further legal action if they do not cease their behavior. Governor Katsuyuki Ichimi expressed hope that these penalties will curb customer abuse, alongside a new national law requiring companies to adopt protective measures against such behavior, effective this October. Reports from Tokyo reveal that Ukrainian evacuees are increasingly interested in settling in Japan, with no end in sight to the conflict with Russia. Around 100 participants, including evacuees and their supporters, joined discussions by the National Council of YMCAs of Japan, addressing the challenges of adapting to life in Japan. Japan's Immigration Services Agency reported 1,967 Ukrainians residing in the country, with a recent survey showing that 60% of respondents desire to settle in Japan, an increase from the prior year. National Council of YMCA's representative Yoriya Yokoyama noted that the lack of prospects for returning home is motivating many to contemplate long-term settlement, and explained the need for community support. The Kumamoto Prefectural government is proposing a budget of approximately 500 million yen, over $3 million, for fiscal 2026 to address the honeybee shortage affecting beekeepers, attributed to extreme summer heat and mite infestations. This initiative aims to support pollination for local crops, essential for agriculture, which is the prefecture's primary industry. The budget will assist beekeepers in acquiring refrigerated facilities to prevent pests and promote demonstrations of alternative pollination insects in educational institutions. Additionally, the overall initial budget for fiscal 2026 is set at a record 935 billion yen, reflecting a significant increase from the previous year, with portions dedicated to earthquake recovery and environmental awareness initiatives. Japan's Emperor Naruhito celebrated his 66th birthday at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo on Monday, greeting approximately 15,000 well-wishers who lined up outside. Alongside Empress Masako and their daughter, Princess Aiko, the emperor appeared on the balcony 3 times, also joined by Crown Prince and Princess Akishino with their children. He expressed concern for those affected by recent heavy snowfalls and conveyed hopes for a peaceful spring, wishing health and happiness to all. Increased security measures were in place for the event, in light of a naked trespasser during the Emperor's New Year greetings. Japan achieved great success at the Milano Cortina Olympics, securing 5 gold medals and a total of 24 medals, ranking 5th overall. The accomplishments were attributed to a blend of experienced and young athletes working together, with notable achievements in snowboarding and figure skating. Japan excelled in snowboarding, winning 9 medals, and showed great strength in figure skating with young talents stepping up. However, the results for speed skating and women's ice hockey proved to be a disappointment. Overall, Team Japan affirmed its status as a winter sports powerhouse with consistent medal performance throughout the games. McDonald's is as popular in Japan as anywhere for a filling meal that won't break the bank. However, this week they announced a price increase for approximately 60% of their menu items effective Wednesday. The increases range from 10 to 50 yen, attributed to rising material, energy, and labor costs. Specifically, the price of the Big Mac will rise from 480 yen to 500 yen, and McFry French fries will see a 20 yen increase across all sizes. Their cheeseburger will also go up by 20 yen, following a previous hike in March of last year. However, prices for a basic hamburger and the teriyaki McBurger, whether singly or with their combo meals, will remain unchanged. Let's take a short pause. In case you're wondering, I started the TokyoBill as a blog, where I wrote about local craft beer pubs and events, and then included news articles on Japan that I personally found interesting, not just the big stories carried by the mainstream media. If you like what you're hearing but want further information, please visit theTokyoBill.com for links to the original articles. Thanks, and now back to this week's news. A Mainichi newspaper investigation revealed that 12 out of Japan's 47 prefectural police forces had no whistleblower reports from 2020 to 2024, while 7 departments reported only 1 case. This situation, described as unbelievable by an expert, raises concerns about the effectiveness of the whistleblower system. The survey found that while the Hiroshima Prefectural Police had the highest number of reports at 173, many forces lacked adequate encouragement or external reporting channels for employees, with a median staff of about 3,500 across departments. The Consumer Affairs Agency indicated that anxiety about reporting may contribute to the low numbers, as only a small percentage of private companies reported similar figures. Overall, the low number of reports suggests significant issues within the police internal reporting system. Lawson has opened its first convenience store designed to support communities during emergencies, just ahead of the 15th anniversary of the Tohoku earthquake. The store in Chiba Prefecture will operate as any other Lawson store, but is equipped with solar panels, a well, and an in-house kitchen for making onigiri rice balls for disaster relief purposes. It will also provide phone charging, disaster information via digital signage, and free Wi-Fi through Starlink. Lawson plans to expand to 100 such stores by 2030. While experts advise the public to prepare their own disaster supplies, other convenience store operators have been planning community support in case of emergencies. 7-Eleven Japan has worked to ensure supply deliveries during traffic restrictions, while Family Mart is planning to install communications equipment in its vehicles in earthquake-hit areas. The US-led Artemis moon mission will utilize a device created by researchers at the University of Tokyo to study the lunar surface. The Portable Active Seismic Source, or PASS, generates small vibrations to analyze the lunar interior and locate resources like water and minerals. During the mission, which aims for a 2028 launch, astronauts will use PASS to assess ground conditions and gather data on the moon's geological formation. Weighing under a kilogram and the size of a large juice can, the device will work in conjunction with a lunar vehicle currently being developed by Toyota. The lunar cruiser will carry movable seismometers, enabling PASS to explore subsurface depths of 80 meters or more. Data obtained will help determine possible lunar base locations and help our understanding of the moon's formation. As more people in Japan are choosing to marry and have children later, or not to marry at all, the population decrease continues. Last June, the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare reported the number of babies born to Japanese nationals fell below 700,000 for the first time in 2024, dropping to 680,000. This contrasts with projections by the National Institute of Population and Social Security Research, which had indicated that births, including those of foreign residents, would not fall below 710,000 until 2042. This week, however, the ministry reported that the number of births in 2025 was 706,000, the lowest since 1899, and marking the 10th consecutive year of decline. This was only a 2.1% decrease from 2024, but the natural population decrease, which subtracts births from deaths, reached a record high of just under 900,000. Researchers from Riken and Fukushima University, along with other collaborators, studied how reducing pesticides and fertilizers can benefit the environment. They analyzed real-world data from mandarin orange orchards across Japan, collecting 206 samples of fruit and soil. Their research focused on various cultivation methods, such as conventional, special, organic, and natural cultivation. The results showed that environmentally friendly methods increased soil carbon content, improving soil fertility and potentially helping combat climate change. Furthermore, reducing pesticides decreased heavy metal levels in the soil. However, the research also found that while conventional chemical pesticide use significantly reduced disease, it increased the proportion of non-target pathogens, a potential problem. A rare ant species from Japan has been found to consist exclusively of queens with no workers or males. For nearly 40 years, researchers suspected this unique characteristic but lacked evidence until now. Temnothorax kinomuri reproduces asexually through parthenogenesis, producing clones from unfertilized eggs, and manipulates workers of a related species into killing their own queen while rearing T. kinomuri offspring, hence a parasitic species. Researchers confirmed the absence of males and workers through lab breeding and analysis of several colonies, indicating a life history marked by workerless parasitism and the ability to reproduce without fertilization. The study, published in the journal Current Biology, provides the first proof of the species lacking both non-reproductive females and males. Punch, an abandoned baby monkey at Ichikawa City Zoo, has garnered significant visitor and online attention, frequently appearing with his stuffed orangutan toy in widely shared videos. Animal rights advocacy group PETA has urged the public to stop sharing these videos and avoid visiting zoos, citing the detrimental effects of captivity on animals. PETA President Jason Baker emphasized that, despite Punch's popularity, he remains in harmful confinement, advocating for his relocation to a sanctuary for a more natural lifestyle. Interest in Punch continues, with videos even featured on the White House's social media, while social media influencer Tristan Tate has shown a desire to purchase him, a move hindered by strict regulations on primate ownership and transport. Experts suggest that Punch's abandonment by his mother may stem from her inexperience and the high-stress environment during birth.
That brings us to the end of this week's news roundup. And once again, your visit to theTokyoBill.com would be greatly appreciated. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.